Hey honey, welcome back. Today I'm going to be giving you some options for everyday makeup as well as a mini tutorial, so let's get right to it. Okay, so no matter if you're going to be wearing a full out glam makeup or you're just going to work for the day, I would suggest always starting with a primer. So today I use the Benefit Porefessional primer, which is good for oily skin and those with enlarged pores. But another suggestion for you to use if you have drier skin is the Mercier Hydrating Primer. These also come in an array of for other skin types, so I think you can just get regular, you can get for oily skin. So this Mercier primer is really good as well for foundation. The next step is to conceal your under eye area, and also I like to just highlight the areas and cover up any blemishes or anything that I have. Today for that I use the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. This is a great concealer for every day. I wouldn't always recommend using two different shades, but I'm just in between shades right now, so that's why I'm using two different ones. Another suggestion is Tarte Shape Tape for this, but I do find Tarte Shape Tape to be a little bit heavy and more of a going out concealer, so I really do like these concealers for every day. Next, I go in with a mineral powder. Now, you can use Bare Minerals, something like that, but I highly recommend the Rodan & Fields Mineral Peptide Powder. It has excellent ingredients for your skin, and I find the coverage very good for a mineral powder. You can use it with the actual Rodan & Fields brush that it comes with. It's non-comedogenic, which means you don't need to clean it all the time. It's antibacterial and things like that. I use it in the shade Light, but you can also get medium as well as bronze, and you can mix the peptide powders. Another thing I like about using the Rodan & Fields peptide powder is that now we don't have to set our foundation with another powder. It just takes out a step, so you're already ready to go ahead with your bronzer, your blush, things like that. Another option for foundation is to go in with, if you prefer liquid foundation, I really am loving the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. It is raved about in the beauty community, and this is right now on sale $5.99 at Dominion. And if you're going to set that, then I would go in with the Laura Mercier translucent powder. Next, I like to warm up my face and bronze it, and with that I like to do the Hoola bronzer by Benefit, and I use a contour brush from MAC that's not clean right now. But this bronzer is easy to use. If you have a makeup bag, it's easy to throw it in there. It's nice and small. Another option for you to use would be an eyeshadow or bronzer that's in another palette. So here's another example, and this is the Tarte palette. It's called Clay Play, and this has 3 bronzing shades as well as some eyeshadows as well. I don't love the way that the eyeshadows blend, but I certainly do like the contour shades in this palette. Then for an everyday makeup look, I like to go in with a blush that has a little bit of shimmer to it. So this blush is called Oasis, and it's by Nars. And I prefer to use a blush with shimmer because then you can kind of skip the highlighting stage and you don't need to add that dewy finish to your face. Another great blush is Nars in Orgasm as well. That's a really nice everyday shade. Next, for brows, I just prefer to use a dip brow pomade. I use the one from Anastasia, and I use the shade Blonde, and I'm using for this brush number 12 by Anastasia, which is in my favorites video. Another option for you to use on your brows is, I really like this one. It's the Maybelline Brow Precise Micro Pencil. I find this one very similar to the Anastasia Brow Wiz. Next, I'm moving on to eyeshadow, and I actually, when I was applying my concealer and my powder over it, I went up onto my eyelids to slightly prime my eyelids for the eyeshadow that I'm using. And my absolute favorite everyday eyeshadow palette is the Naked Basics. So this is the Naked 2 Basics, but I believe there's a 1 as well. And the key with the everyday eyeshadow is just to use something that has matte colors in it. So this one is all matte. It has some great colors that are really easy to use, and you can build them up. And for the brushes, really all you need for an everyday look is a couple fluffy brushes that you can, move color around in your crease and really just make it look nice and natural looking. For the bottom lash line, I used a smaller precise brush, and then I blended it out with a pencil brush. Another suggestion for an everyday that also has lots of mattes, and this is really such a versatile palette. It's the Modern Renaissance, and it does have lots of matte colors that you can use in the daytime, but of course also on the weekend, so I absolutely love that palette. For mascara, I am always using the Benefit Roller Lash. A little trick, if your lashes are like mine, is to use a waterproof mascara first. That'll help keep them curled. I didn't do it in this video, but oftentimes I do that. Of course, I always curl my eyelashes, and I believe this eyelash curler is from Revlon. And finally, we're going to finish with the lips, and for this I'm using my everyday most favorite color in the world, which is Crush by Anastasia in the liquid lipstick. And it's just a perfect everyday shade. It's not too in your face. It's not too neutral. It has a little bit of a pink hue. But another option for an everyday makeup look is Sephora's Marvellous Mauve. And this one is awesome. It's a good price point. It's $18. It's really nice and long lasting as well. And this is definitely more of a pink shade. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed these makeup options for an everyday makeup look, as well as a little tutorial. Everything that I used will be linked in the down bar below, and everything that I mentioned in the video. If you like my videos, please subscribe, thumbs up, and if you have any suggestions or something that you'd like to see, please shoot me a message, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye now.